In the shadows of musical history, one name flickers like a candle in the wind. There exists a story so shocking it defies belief. Imagine a man born black, destined to leave an indelible mark on the music industry during the Harlem Renaissance, only to vanish mysteriously from the annals of history. This is the enigmatic story of Harry Pace, an American musical icon who was born black but would shockingly die white. Now, the year was 1921 and Pace had just moved to New York around the dawn of the Harlem Renaissance. Pace, alongside his legendary business partner, composer W.C. Handy, would use Harlem as their launching pad to make history. They created the first well-known and highly successful black record label of its kind, and they called it Black Swan Records. But what was so special about Black Swan? Well, at this point, New York was brimming with unbelievable black talent. I'm talking undeniable legends like Eubie Blake, Florence Mills, and Fats Waller, to name a few. In general, Harlem was buzzing with innovative black creative energy. Despite this, however, when it comes to recording and selling music by black artists, the opportunities just ain't exist. White-owned record companies like Columbia, Paramount seldom recorded with black artists, and when they did, it was limited to minstrel music. Like today, white companies were making a fortune off selling negative portrayals of black people, and many were just sick of it. Pace decided Black Swan would put out black music with black musicians for black people. Pace was literally FUBU before FUBU existed. He figured out a way to get to that bag by tapping into a market white companies refused to serve. He had a record company, but what he really needed was a star. And boy, did he find one. He linked up with the ravishing, the young, the beautiful, the talented Ethel Waters. And she had the hood going crazy with a sophisticated, elegant, and sexy style. They recorded her song Down Home Blues, and it flooded the streets, selling a whopping 100,000 copies in under 6 months. It was amazing. They were making history in real time. Unfortunately, this good thing wouldn't last too long though. Now y'all gotta remember, white folk are always white folk. Black Swan popped up on the scene the same year the Tulsa race massacres happened in Oklahoma. So shit definitely was not sweet in these American streets. When white record companies got wind of Black Swan's success, they realized there was a black market they were missing out on, and suddenly they wanted in. Ironically, at the same time, troubling things started happening, like shipments of Black Swan records being mysteriously broken before they made it to record stores. You don't find that suspicious? White competitors threatened by Black Swan's triumph resorted to sabotage and at times physical intimidation. Although it had been a good ride, Black Swan could not survive the open hostility of white competitors with more money, more muscle, and more market share. He ended up selling Black Swan, cutting his losses and moving to Chicago, where he'd go on to make black history in other industries. But this is where things get kind of complex. Pace seemed to be living a double life. He remained actively involved in the black community, was a member of the NAACP and even the Urban League, but all the while in his private life, Pace seemed to have distanced himself from the black community. His family moved into a predominantly white neighborhood outside of Chicago. His children go on to a college and end up marrying white spouses. The life he was now living was completely at odds with the legacy he had worked his whole life to create. Pace would mysteriously die at the age of 59, and upon his death, his wife and kids secretly had him buried, notifying none of his friends or business partners, choosing to live out the rest of their lives passing for white, never publicly mentioning their father's legacy. Harry Pace's story is one of triumph, betrayal, and mystery. His courage in the face of adversity, his dedication to his people, and the enigma of his passing make him a figure both inspiring and puzzling.